big mistake. This drone was in international waters. Clearly, we have it all documented. It's documented scientifically, not just words. And they made a very bad mistake.
How will you respond, Mr. President? How will you respond?
You'll find out.
Are you willing to go to war with Iran?
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Mr. President,
Obviously, you know, we're not going to be talking too much about it. You're going to find out. They made a very big mistake.
there are 2 Canadians that are in jail in China right now.
Who are detained, sir.
No concerns. We'll be discussing that. It'll be one of the issues I think we'll be discussing right now with Justin.
Mr. President, the Fed made no change to the interest rate.
Say it?
The Fed made no change to the interest rate, right?
Well, I guess they indicated they're going to be low. He should have done it sooner, but what are you going to do? Can't win them all. He should have done it sooner, but you can't win it all. I mean, eventually he'll do what's right, perhaps. Let's see what he does.
Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada with the United States on Iran?
Do you intend to bring them up when you meet with
Obviously, we're very concerned with the escalation by Iran recently. We have significant presence in the area, including leading in the NATO mission in Baghdad in Iraq. We look forward to discussing with our closest ally their perspectives on this and how we can move forward as an international community.
Will you help Justin Trudeau get a meeting with Xi Jinping at the G20 next week to talk about the same?
Well, I don't know that he's trying to meet. Are you trying to get a meeting?
We've got a lot of things to discuss.
Well, otherwise, I'll represent him well. I will tell you. We have a meeting set up with President Xi, and it's obviously on the big transaction that we're talking about and negotiating. Our people are actually speaking now. We'll see what happens with that. But anything I can do to help Canada, I will be doing.
Monsieur Trudeau, est-ce que les États-Unis peuvent nous aider, Monsieur Trudeau, dans ce dossier-là?
bring it up with President Xi when you meet with him?
I would, at Justin's request, I will absolutely bring it up.
When USMCA is ratified, sir, will that be the end
Don't
of
say
tariffs?
when.
When it is
Don't
ratified.
say when, because so far I have to get the Democrats to approve it. All right? So I like your positive thinking. But if, and the if is really subject to the Democrats, let's see what happens. But I really believe that Nancy Pelosi and the House will approve it. I think the Senate will approve it rapidly. It's going to be very bipartisan. It's great for the farmers, manufacturers. It's really great for everybody. And unions. It's great for unions. I mean, we have tremendous union support, too. It's a tremendous, it really is, it shows a partnership between 3 countries. And it's sort of 3 countries in a trade sense. We're competing with the European Union, we're competing with China. It gives us a bigger dialogue, it gives us a much bigger platform. It's really good for all 3. It's something that's very popular. I hope politically they can do what they have to do. Now, a day after the election, it would win with a tremendous support. But we have an election coming up. But I think Nancy Pelosi is going to do the right thing.
And will that be the end of tariffs on Canada and Mexico?
Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, they have to do what they have to do. We understand that. We can't have big, tremendous shipments of certain products, so we understand that very well.
We were very pleased with the lifting of the tariffs on steel and aluminum.
They've been lifted, as you know, and there won't be, hopefully, transshipping. If there's transshipping, I'll call Justin, and he'll take care of it. And if he doesn't take, I'll probably call him a second time, and if he doesn't, then we'll have to talk, right? But I think that situation is very well taken care of. Very important for both countries and for all 3 countries, the farmers, very, very important. More so in that case from us and Canada. But the farmers are really happy with it. The manufacturers are very happy. Mexico is thrilled. You saw the vote. It was a very lopsided in a positive way vote, a great vote. And I think it's going to be something very special. Again, it's the largest trade deal by far ever entered into, and we're very close to have it finalized. It means a lot of jobs for our country, a lot of wealth for all 3 countries, and we're really competing against the world. You know, we're not competing with each other so much. This brings us into a position where we're not competing with each other. We're competing against the world, and that's what we're doing. We're competing against big sections of the world, including Asia, and including other areas, and I think it's going to be very special. I think it's going to end up being a very important deal, but the biggest ever made.
Will you invite the Toronto Raptors to the White House?
Still a different.
Will you invite the Toronto Raptors to the White House? I'm from the Toronto
Well,
Star.
we thought about that. That's an interesting question. They played phenomenal basketball. I watched a little bit of it. They were really terrific. Congratulations, by the way. That was a great job by a great team. So we'll think about that. If they'd like to do it, we'll think about that. We have a lot of other folks coming. And the Presidential Medal, I just spoke to him, we're going to be presenting the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Roger Penske. Roger Penske is a great gentleman who has won 18 Indianapolis 500s. He's just won Daytona. He won Daytona, he won Indianapolis, he won probably more than anybody in the history of racing. I can't imagine anybody even being close. But Roger Penske is going to be getting the Medal of Freedom, and he's very thrilled to be getting it, and that'll be announced over the next little while, but I guess actually I'm announcing it pretty much now. But they'll be putting something out. They'll be putting something out in a little while. He's very deserving. He's a great gentleman. I've known him a long time, and a very brilliant guy. When you think of all the countries that want to win Indianapolis and Daytona, and they fight and they spend, even Canada, they spend a lot of money, and and you know, when a man wins Indianapolis, when he wins it 18 times, and he just won the Daytona, and he won many things over the course of years, and he's become a very successful man. We talked about electric cars today. I think nobody knows more about that subject in terms of common sense than Roger Penske. So Roger Penske will be getting and receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Mr. President, you said Iran is a different country. Do you still hold that opinion?
Oh, absolutely. When I came here, Iran was in 14 to 18 different sites of confliction. They were extremely hostile. They were hostile when they signed the deal. They were screaming death to America. And I think probably Iran made a mistake. I would imagine it was a general or somebody that made a mistake in shooting that drone down. And fortunately, that drone was unarmed. There was no man in it, and it was over international waters, clearly over international waters, but we didn't have a man or woman in the drone. We had nobody in the drone.
Are you still open to
Would have made a big difference, let me tell you. Would have made a big, big difference. But I have a feeling, I may be wrong, and I may be right, but I'm right a lot. I have a feeling that it was a mistake made by somebody that shouldn't have been doing what they did.
So do you think
I think they made a mistake, and I'm not just talking the country made a mistake. I think that somebody under the command of that country made a big
Are you
mistake.
still open to talking to Iran's leadership?
Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's all going to work out.
So you think it was
Justin
intentional?
Say it.
Are you saying you think it wasn't intentional to strike the drone?
I don't know. I find it hard to believe it was intentional, if you want to know the truth. I think that it could have been somebody who was loose and stupid that did it. We'll be able to report back, and you'll understand exactly what happened. But it was a very foolish move. That I can tell you.
What do you feel like there are members of your administration who are trying to push you into conflict?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, in many cases, it's the opposite. But I will say, look, I said, I want to get out of these endless wars. I campaigned on that. I want to get out. We've been in Afghanistan for 19 years. As you know, we've reduced very substantially in Afghanistan. We beat the caliphate. We took back 100% of the caliphate. When it was 99%, Justin, I said, we're going to get out. We're going to start peeling back. And everybody went crazy because it was 99. So I said, all right, so we'll finish it up. So we got 100%. And we're pulling that back out of Syria. We're pulling a lot of people back. But this is a new wrinkle. This is a new fly in the ointment, what happened shooting down the drone. And this country will not stand for it. That I can tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Press. Right this way. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Right this way. Thank you, Press. Thank you. Let's go.
Thank you.
CNN, let's go. Thank you, CNN. Thank you, CNN. Let's go. Thank you. CNN, thank you very much. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you very much. We love you, CNN. Let's go.
She was terrific. I heard she was terrific.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Press. Right this way. Thank you. We're leaving now. We're leaving now. Thank you, sir.
She was terrific.
Thank you.
We're leaving now, CNN. Thank you.